Okay then, now in the last 3 videos what we did is we went through how to create an account, how to actually create a folder within Google Drive, how to upload different bits and pieces, how to turn off and on conversion, and we also spoke about actually sharing with students. Now if you remember, what we did is that I had this test folder just here and we shared. Now what we did is we actually go right click on here, share, and then share, and we actually managed to, well, I shared this with the other account that I have, which is mark@flux3d.co.uk. Now what that means is that me as the student in this case, and Mark Sutton, this file here, has actually been able to see those folders, these Memphis groups, both PowerPoint and also the proprietary Google PowerPoint. I can actually see that as a student. Now through the wonders of technology, what I've done here is I've split my screen. On one side I've got Google Chrome running my actual account on Google Drive, so this is the teacher account if you like, and over here using good old-fashioned Microsoft Windows Explorer. Bear in mind that I have to use a separate program in order to do this, because if I use Google Chrome it would automatically recognize the fact that I was actually logged in as M Sutton, and it wouldn't allow me to have multiple accounts. But hopefully this should work fine if I actually go in here and sign in at mark@flux3d.co.uk, which is my student account if you like that I'm using for this demonstration. So I'll log in here, and this is, if you imagine this right hand side just here is what the student would actually see. So at the moment the student hasn't got anything on their drive, but they have got shared with me, which is me as the teacher over here has shared with this folder over here, this test folder. And at the moment you can see it's got in those pictures, so it's exactly the same as what I'm seeing over here, the student over here is seeing. Now what I'm going to do, it's a little bit of an experiment, is demonstrate what happens when you create something, what actually happens from the student's point of view. So you can see just here, if I actually create, if I'm selected on the test folder, and I'll click on create, and I'm going to create a folder. Now say if I wanted to actually put up some information that I wanted them to do, some revision. So I'll call it revision, create and share, and because it's inside that folder, when it actually pops up in here, there we go, it should automatically appear over on the right hand side. There we go, so it's synced. A little bit of delay on there, but you can see that it actually synced to the actual right hand side, which you remember is the, and you can see that it's saying that the owner is Mark Sutton, the teacher, and the student one is over here. So I've got that, and I've got this folder. So if I click on inside there and I click in here as well, what I can then do is I can create something in there. Now we were talking about collaboration right at the very beginning in the first video, and I spoke how one of the key features that Google Drive has that is beyond what can be done in lots of other software is it allows your students to collaborate. Now imagine the scenario that you have a group of students and you've set them a homework, and what you've asked them to do is to actually contribute. So you may put them in pairs, you may put them in threes, you may put them in even more than that, and you ask them to actually change and modify the document. So I'm going to create a document in here. I'm going to keep it very, very straightforward and simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a presentation. It comes up with a warning here just to remind you that what you're doing is going to be shared with somebody. This item will have the same sharing permissions as the selected folder. So in other words, it's going to be shared with all the people that can see that folder. Create and share. It opens up another tab. And at the moment it's an untitled one. I'm going to choose a simple, straightforward version there and click OK. Notice that it's created this untitled presentation has appeared in the student view. So already it has saved it so people can actually see on it. Now I'm going to click in here to put in a title, and I will call this the Memphis Group. And I'll put down some revision help. So I've created my first slide inside there. Now on the student view at the moment it's not actually saved as anything. What I can do is I can go into here, I can have a look at the different things, I can actually rename what it is actually called, and at the moment it's called Untitled Presentation. So if I call this Revision Help Memphis Group, and click OK, we should see that it's updated on here and also updated on the student view. So they can actually see that they've done that particular one, they can see that they've got it in there under those shared with them. They can see that they've got that particular one. At the moment it's in the revision timetable, so I can click on there, and what they should be able to see is they should actually be able to see what is being done live to that presentation. So if I click on it within there, you can see that they've got their version up on there. Now if I change something on here, I'm going to add in a new slide. So I'm going to put in a new slide. So I can choose an image or whatever I want to actually do, but I can put in a new slide just here, just like you would do. And can you see that straight away they're starting to see, and they can see that M. Sutton is actually editing it at the moment. So if I was over on this side, that student would be able to actually click in here. And can you see what I have on his side? You can see that now it's telling me that Mark, i.e. the student, is actually editing that one. So I might actually put in as this collaborative bit of working, what is the Memphis Group? Question mark. And you can see that that has been put in, and now the other person. Now this would, if there was multiple people that were viewing this, there would be different colours to actually present different people that were collaborating. You can see at the top it's telling me that that is Mark that's collaborating on it, and over here you can see that it's saying that it's M. Sutton as in the teacher. There may be multiple people that are logged into that document, and they're all actually doing the same thing. They're working on it, they're collaborating together, and you can see that we've got one other viewer there, and you can see the different people. So they can actually bring in images. They can say, right, I'm going to put insert an image, and then find the actual image that they want. They might go by Google Drive, they might upload, choose an image to upload, they can do whatever they want. So I'm going to go and pick one of my images. It might be really, really exciting, and use that image that has got nothing to do with the Memphis Group whatsoever, if anybody's thinking about it. And you can see over on the right hand side that the student can see it. And they can sort of take control of it. They can say, well, no, actually, I'd like it over here. And I'd like to also think about maybe reducing the size of it. And I can actually add text in there. Maybe they would actually be communicating via Skype at the same time, but this would obviously allow them to add it. So they're collaborating on a piece of work. So although they may be miles and miles apart, they could be in the lesson themselves, they could be working in small groups, whatever it might be, they will be doing something at the same time. But the key thing is that they are actually working together. They are doing something together and producing a piece of work. So we've got that. We can finish that one up. They can have theirs all done. So we could say, right, fine, I'm done with that one. Don't need to worry about it anymore. I'm going to close the window. Sorted. Over on here, we can see that straight away, no other viewers. So we know that the student has stopped viewing. I can finish it off. I can say, well, I didn't actually like that one, and anyway, I'm going to enlarge it a bit. And maybe I can insert a text box and actually put some more text in it. And actually make sure that I make it so that I can actually see it, because it's in black, so I can't see it at the moment. There we go. I think it is quite cool. And I can enlarge the text so that people can see it. And then I might say, right, well, I'm sort of finished, that's all my homework, all sorted out. Share that all on, done, finished, don't need to think about anything else. I can close that window and I don't actually have to click save because it's automatically done. So that's actually done on there. And we can, as the teacher on here, have a quick look at the actual bits and pieces under here. We can actually have a look at the details as well about it. What is it about those particular ones? Who's actually worked on it? And we can actually show the activity that's gone on there as well. You can see that it was last modified as well by myself. And we can see exactly what it looks like at this particular moment in time. There we go. So you can see that quite quickly and simply you can actually have a look at these, get the students to collaborate on individual bits and pieces. In the next video what I will do is I'll go over a little bit more about how you can see a little bit more in depth, a bit more advanced about what has actually gone on with these, who's done what where, and how you can scroll back through documents and change it, because there's a constant recording of all the steps that's gone through, and so that you can revert back to previous versions.